All right, we are live. Greetings, fellow traders. Let me get this tweet out so everybody so we can get started here. 1 second. All right, awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. Well, I hope everybody had a great trading day today. It was a tough one. Awesome, awesome, awesome. It was a choppy one today. So it is what it is. These are the days, these type of choppy days. We just got to kind of look at it and just be like, okay, it's chopping, right? Let's not force any trades and just kind of let it do its thing, right? So a good day to sell premium type stuff. But other than that, it was very very few moves. So there's a couple by the dips that that were possible today. But other than that, it was very very choppy if you're just looking at the market. So anyway, before we get started, today we're going to be continuing our conversation on day trading earnings season strategies. We're going to wrap it up today by talking about direction. Okay, so before we get started, everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, good, good, good. All right, let's check it. First, we're going to check and see where we left off in the market, and then we're going to take a look at the futures, see what we have got possibly in store for overnight and into tomorrow. And then we'll take a look at the topic, and then we'll go over questions and chart requests. So let's get started here. Okay, so the SPX, quite a day today. So we were down about 11 points today. Still green on the month. Weekly chart, we've been really trying to contend with this red candle right here. We've been holding the 30 weekly moving average. We're pushing our way up. Right, everything's kind of going okay. Right, we got a nice trend line up here on the weekly chart. But we really got to get over this level here. We got one trading day left to see if we can really try to push over it here. Otherwise, we're finding some resistance in that area, and of course that gap resistance above. But once we can get into that, that's a great target, like we talked about. So, daily chart again, choppy day, guys. Today's range was only 21.8 points. It was the narrowest range day since the Corona crash, right? So we didn't have the narrowest range day was here at 14.6 hours before we crashed. Okay, so just a kind of a paused area here. Tomorrow's option expiration day on the monthly chart. There's a lot of folks getting really super duper bullish on the market. Doing a lot of out of the money type calls, things like that. So the market makers, kind of chopping around, get those premiums down so they don't have to pay out as much. So we saw a lot of that action today. They tried the plunge protection, tried to push it up today. Those market makers were in control today. So it is what it is there. Let's take a look at the price action here intraday. Look at that chop. So super duper choppy today. I mean, almost completely within the 15 orb. We got a little bit of a push towards the end of the day, but it was really, really fast and difficult. And then it made a move right there, and then they chopped it again at the close. So pretty amazing stuff there. Let's take a look at the 5-minute chart. These are the levels that we provide to our members before each market open, and they're very, very helpful in trying to navigate levels, but we hardly got really a strong close above any of these levels, right? We had an upper shadow right here that came back down. We had one hammer right here for a scalpy type move up, and that was it, and then it came back down in the range. We had another candle right here that just couldn't get any follow through, right? We had this candle down here, which is nice, that pushes down to the prior day's low, and then we reversed really fast off. This was tough because it was so choppy to see that this thing was ready to go. Got a decent pause candle right here, and that gave you a nice move up. So this was pretty much the trade of the day right there. That was like the one if trading the market. So that was the SPX today. That was the SPY. Let's take a look at the S&P futures and see how they're behaving here this evening. Okay, so we're up about 7 points. These are a couple of the levels that we provide to our members too, in addition to the ones we talked about. So in the S&P futures, really, really important to find these zones, right? Supply-demand type zone type things. We call them signal zones. And a little bit of resistance off of this one here today, came back down. And right now, this evening, we're still chopping through this one. Okay, so pretty much as we approach tonight, we want to see how this trend line holds. We've got a couple tests of it right here. And if that breaks down, right, we may see a push, to today's lows and possibly test these 3180s levels. So we'll see how that goes tonight. If they try to push it up tonight, right, plunge protection steps up, gets some pajamas on, starts buying, right, we got to get through this level, and then we'll see if we can get over those 3220 levels above and start to make an attack on Friday, possibly into that open gap from the Corona crash. So very, very interesting stuff, and we'll be tracking that going into the morning. So good stuff there. So today we're going to be wrapping up our discussion on day trading earnings season strategies, and today we're going to be talking about direction. So what do we mean by that? So direction. So really with that, let's take a look at Netflix here tonight. So Netflix has had an earnings loss right there. It had a big push down. The algos push it down really quickly. It's kind of drifting up here into tomorrow. So it's still contained within the market maker expected move range, right? The straddle price area. So because we haven't pushed below that area, it's the probability for it to hold this range is probably pretty good. But let's take a look here and see where we're at. So we're at 479 right now. Here's the upward trend line on Netflix. Okay, so so you can see here we're going to gap down probably around this 29.79 level. They're holding it up pretty well at this 29.80. So I mean, really, if they decide to flush it tomorrow, if the market's weak, we'll see how that holds that trend line. We might actually get a bounce on this and see where it goes. Okay, so why are we talking about this now? So yes, this is cool to look at, but this is what we want to see, right? This is what we want to see with earnings, because earnings are a big day, right? Especially on something like Netflix where you get a huge gap, right? These type of days are going to define a potential direction for the stock itself, right? So obviously the market's really bad, it'll travel with the market, but for the most part, right, for the stock itself, earnings season helps define what that direction is. So over the next couple days, we're going to see how it handles these levels and see if it can establish a direction and where we go from there. Obviously, it's important to use our trend line strategies and use our trend boxes and see if we break down. But if we have a big gap down and we close below this here, and then we got another push below there, chances are the trend is going to change, and that earnings move is going to define the fresh direction, right? So that's the idea here, right? Same thing here with Netflix and the last earnings, right? It chopped around a little bit and it defined a quick direction down, right? So same here, right? So we were moving up, the trend was up at the time, right? We're moving up on Netflix right here, right? So we had earnings, right? We had a drop off of earnings right here, right? But then it reversed off of that, very similar to what we might see tomorrow, right? Right now we're at 479, 480, so we're not quite here yet. So maybe, possibly, Netflix is going to define a fresh direction, reverse off of it, give us a strong candle to go, right? And that'll define the direction. So we got a little bit of a bull flag right here, right? And then we continue to move. So we look for these breakout candles out of these patterns after earnings. Very, very helpful stuff, right? So again, here was a huge gap down. It couldn't hold. They tried to reverse it, but the direction was defined, right? And it ultimately started a fast downtrend down on Netflix. So really, really good stuff, guys. This is something to just pay attention to with earnings. This is more of a daily. This is not really necessarily a day trading type stuff, but it can help us in future day trades. So if we know the direction has changed, or we're relatively confident in the direction change, then we can look for day trades in that direction. So if we come down here and we end up moving back up, right, and it's clear if we get a good volume candle that works its way up here, right, we can assume that directions change, and during our day trading, we can look for setups to go in that direction. So earnings are very, very helpful for that, and for assisting with our day trades too going forward from earnings, not let alone all the techniques we talked about this week. So good stuff, guys. That's all I really wanted to cover today, but I think we covered a lot of great things about earnings and trading those. So I hope you guys found that helpful this week. And at this point, if anybody has any questions or chart requests, please feel free to plug those in the chat window, and we'll get through as many as we can and try to wrap up as early as possible so we can all get a good night's sleep and have another awesome trading day tomorrow, assuming they don't chop everything. So we'll see how we go. Again, like I said, it's earnings expiration day. It's monthly expiration day tomorrow. So there'll be some shenanigans, but it's very, very, we had a very tight day today with high volatility. So chances are that contraction will lead to expansion. So let's see which way it does tomorrow. So good stuff. Awesome. So we got Shirley sending a few in by email right here. So let's see, we got NVAX. Okay, so a couple of the Corona names right here. Strong move on NVAX right here. So it's holding pretty well. Right, so holding its upward trend line, nice move right there. Let's see if we can get a push above those highs going into tomorrow. I like that. We're going to add that to the bullish game plan for tomorrow on NVAX. Great find there, Shirley. What else? What else we got? So we've got APD. Let's take a look. All right, so APD, another nice move there. Good volume on this one coming in on this one. So good air products type stuff. So this is good, right? Good in the neighborhood right here. So we've got an upward trend line right here. Right, and we've got pretty much a bump line right here. So this thing has been pretty vertical, but it's holding trend. It's over the 80 MA, getting a little extended right there, but let's see if we can get some follow through on that one. D, right, yeah. So the energy stocks had a nice move here today. Now again, it started to reverse its trend down, so we're basically in a downtrend right now. Right, so we just got to be careful with that. But it's trying to work its way up right here. We do have a geometric line here, so we're kind of get contained within this triangle right here. So see if we can get another follow through the upside on today's bullishness. Not a lot of volume on it, so just be careful there. THC. Okay, so. Gosh, you'd think that would be a pot stock name, right? But anyway, move right here. So we're basically looks like we're triangulating. We haven't gotten over this level of that, so just be careful of that. There's Shirley going into tomorrow. And then RVP. RVP with a good push up there today. Decent volume coming in there. Just be careful. It's a low volume trader. Probably not one to look at for options, but a decent move there, and it's still holding trend. Got the bump line right there. So good stuff. Great find, Shirley. Really appreciate it. Dylan sent in a few via Twitter, so let's take a look at ISRG. Okay, so intuitive surgical, this is a tough one to trade, Dylan, so just be careful with it, right? The options are crazy on it, but this is when it moves, right? Expensive stock, big mover, right? So Doji Day right here, see if it turns into a pause day going into tomorrow. Okay, Home Depot, the home builders were strong today. Why? Lowest mortgage rates in history. Well, at least in the recorded history, at least the last 50 years. So that helps, right? So that means that home builders, right? It's good for them. It's good for, well, I don't know how good it is for banks, but it's good for home builders, right? So they got a chance to build more homes and get more of them financed, right? Gave a decent push today here on Home Depot, pulled back a little bit. Inside day, so let's see how that holds going in tomorrow. MOS. Okay, yeah, so Mosaic. Decent move right here. Definitely triangulating. So just kind of watch these levels right here, right? As it gets kind of tight there. Okay, and then net. Okay, so net, good. So again, these cloud names have been pretty good right here. We're still holding trend. So if it does pull back, just see how it holds that trend line right there. A little bit of a red day, but it's still holding those recent lower shadow levels. And then IBM. Okay, so IBM, this one is just a tough trader, right? So unless it gets like some good news or acquisition type stuff or crazy earnings, right? It usually just tends to chop around a little bit. I'd say this thing trades like an ADR with all these crazy gaps. But anyway, it's stuck in the cloud right here and in this triangle. So it's just kind of doing its choppy thing there. But it did have a bullish day today, so that's good. So good stuff. Thanks, Dylan. ZEK, what's going on? I hope you're doing well. Johnson & Johnson, yeah, so some pretty good news on this one today, right? More, vaccine type stuff. It seems to be working its way out of this major bull flag right here, holding on to the cloud. Good volume today, decent move after earnings. So let's see if that defines a direction for it today, or going forward. So AZN, good news on it. Okay, here's trend line. So good news on it the other day for the vaccine and all that stuff. Inside data, let's see if we can push above those and get another move to the upside. SPCE, this was our move of the morning today. It finally gave it some good volume and a nice push over this key level right here. Got a little momentum move through there. It gave a great move at the open. Just a good opportunity right there, but it left with an upper shadow today, so a little bit blah. But, if we can get like a doji up here, that kind of closing the upper end of that range, we might see a little bit of a move up on it. So, okay, that's not closing at all. Anyway, so let's see how that holds, but upper shadow, a little bit sketchy on that one. And then STM. STM kind of hanging in there outside day today. It's holding its ADMA. So let's see how it holds there. Right, and here's your trend line. So, again, still bullish, still proven otherwise on that one. And then Mickey D's, goodness gracious, things all over the place. Could we please get a nice breakout candle that gets followed through? So, still rejected by its 200-day moving average, right? But we got a little bit of a triangle type formation going on right here, inside day, but it's holding the cloud. So we got that going on. Rocky, what's going on? DKNG, let's take a look. Yeah, so DKNG was great, guys. This was one of my favorite ones that we mentioned to the group here recently. Good high volume pullback bounce hammer here off of the IPO trend line. And they got some nice follow through in that one. Strong day today. Closed over a lot of key levels. Let's see if we continue to get follow through. But great entry off of this one. Nice gap. Go and move. So you got to love that. And then BA. So BA did a great job getting across this cloud canyon right here. Holding onto the cloud right now. Still in that range. Still holding this geometric line right here. Possible sideways head and shoulders in the works. So look for it if it gets like some sort of nasty close down there. We might get a move down, to earnings. So let's just see how that plays out. So good stuff. Kim, what's going on? I hope you're doing well. Inverse head and shoulders on Facebook. Let's take a look. Kind of, sort of, maybe. So, you kind of have this right here. You got this right here. So it might be working on one. Maybe it'll go down the cloud and try to work its way back up right there. But in the meantime, it's still holding its upward trend line, which is here. So it's still holding that. It's got room to pull back to it too. So let's kind of see if that is the case. If it pulls back here and gives us that shoulder move on Facebook. So good stuff. Rounded top on SE. So a dumpling top on this one. Maybe, yeah. So it's starting to curl over right here. It had a great move. The 80 may still pointed out a gap down today. It's holding this over right here. So just kind of keep an eye on this one. That's your trend box area right there. See if you get a bearish close below there. We might get a move down to the 50-day or down to the cloud on that one. I tell you, it was sure a fun move on that one. Yep, and let's take a look at pets. Okay, so pets with a great move today. Yeah, PetMed Express is good. Nice close over these levels. Earnings coming up pretty soon, so let's see how that if that earnings run continues. And then XOM. Some decent moves in oil and yesterday. XOM and a good candle right here as it got over these levels. Got a gap up right here, but it's still holding the ADMA. So this may just be a little bit of a pullback. Let's look for some confirmation above there, see if it wants to go any higher. Okay, and then Square. Square just kind of chopping around right here. It's still holding its upward trend line. So let's see on this one. A little bit of a pause day there today. So good stuff. Thanks so much for tuning in. Mike, what's going on? Thanks for making it. Yeah, let's take a look at GLD. So GLD, I'd say these gold stock, it's grinding its way up right here. Still holding the upward trend line. Still holding the upper trend line on this one. A possible bull flag forming. right? Really, really tight range. Let's see if we can break out of there one way or another. It might do it on an intraday basis, in which case you might be able to get a move on it. Amazon, again, seems to be pulling back a little bit, guys. Remember we talked about this extension right here, how extended this thing could get over the upper trend line when you get to all-time highs. Here's your move. I mean, it basically called it, right? So we had an upper shadow right here, and then it started to move back off of that. So nice fall through the downside on Amazon here. Let's see if we can still kind of pull back to the upper trend line. We'll see if that holds, and then gives another bounce off of that. So good stuff there. And then Tesla, double inside day. So I know, crazy stuff, right? So it's hanging in there. Tesla itself is just wild and crazy, right? This is extended over its upper trend line, but see how it holds, right? It could continue to consolidate there and get a move, but definitely pay attention to today's highs and lows for some good clues into tomorrow's price action. And Tesla can be a fun one to trade on Friday if you catch the right momentum. So good stuff. Charlie, what's going on? I hope you're doing well. Let's say Roku. So Roku down about 4 points here on the Netflix earnings. Moving in sympathy with it. Let's see if the data actually pull up here for us. Okay, yeah. So Roku hanging in there, right? So we had this major geometric line from all-time highs. We got above it here with a little bit of volume, got some follow through, but we're still holding it. So Doji right here, but that 149 level is about like right here at the bottom. So just see if that continues to hold if it tries to work its way up of that one. Definitely look, if Netflix gives a big reversal tomorrow, definitely keep an eye on Roku. Okay, so SPY, of course, same stuff right here. We still haven't taken out the highs in this one. We did fill the island top gap on that. So we're still in the trend box here on this one. Obviously we followed the SPX for a little bit more accurate data on it, but we've got the open gap right there too if it wants to stay strong. Very narrow range day for SPY today. Okay, we'll see if we get some expansion on that tomorrow as we get Opex shenanigans. Okay, and Boeing, right? So Boeing's kind of the big one right here, right? Possible inverse head and shoulders, holding this geometric line and holding the cloud still. Did a great job getting across to this. So now let's just see if we can get, some strength. Nice breakout candle, see if this thing wants to get going again. Otherwise, choppy, sloppy as it is right now. So ex-country Kev, yeah, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. Yeah, so SBCE, great move today. Just kind of left us with an upper shadow, kind of left us hanging there, right? So now we just got to see what it's up to. That's some great volume and some good opportunities intraday today. So good stuff. Yeah, let's take a look. We got Zoom. Let's take a look at Zoom. Zumba. Yeah, so Zoom is definitely kind of curling around right here, right? You see the ADMA starting to move down, inside day down. Got a couple key levels right here to see if it holds, but again, it's still a popular Corona name, right? You got this geometric level right here, which it's holding. If the Corona names start to pick up again, we can hold this trend line and see where we go from there. Low volume pullback, so definitely something to keep an eye on. Zoom might actually be interesting on the bullish radar tomorrow, so let's kind of put that out there too. I like it. So see if it breaks over those highs and gives us some move tomorrow for a bullish play, for a bullish move. Good stuff. JMOS, what's going on, man? Hope you're doing well. Thanks for tuning in. mRNA. Well, great inside day up here, inside day here. So just be careful. It turns into a reversal, right? We had a big reversal off of that. So we got the ADMA right here. Let's see if that holds. Let's see what else. You got Spot. Yeah, so Spot. Pretty interesting stuff, right? So it's still hanging into the this sideways consolidation zone right here. So let's see if we eventually can break out of there. APT with a strong move today off of the inside day. But left us with an upper shadow right here, so still kind of hanging out. Couldn't quite get over those levels, but definitely a huge trade intraday today. Tesla, of course, double inside day. So this should be very, very interesting, guys. Contraction to expansion, so let's see if Tesla can do it again. So good stuff. S. Lee, what's going on? Apple, let's take a look. So Apple hanging in there, holding trend, Doji Day, holding the ADMA. So let's see which way it goes there. It's down a little bit in sympathy with Netflix tonight, so let's see if it continues to go. But if not, let's definitely check and see how it holds that trend line. Z, what's going on? BAC, let's take a look here. So yeah, so a little bit of crazy reversal right here, right? Up, down, up. So a lot of 180s right there. Again, check your levels right here on BAC. I had earnings today, held in there, but it stayed below the cloud on the 50-day moving average. So if the market gets weak tomorrow, Bank of America could be one to keep on the short radar. So I'm just going to put it on the short radar for tomorrow. And give me 1 second. Let me write this in here. What's it? It's Friday. Consider next week's options. Okay. So good stuff there on Bank of America. See if that holds. Jay, what's going on? Hello. Hope you're doing well. JACOCP, let's take a look. Okay, COCP. Okay, so Coastal Pharma hanging in there. Lots of upper shadows on this one. Holding that geometric line there. So see how that plays out on that. And then mRNA. Inside day. Right, we just looked at that one too. FSLR. Huge move in the... huge rotation into these solar names here recently. Like big candle yesterday, got a little gap up today, and then kind of pulled back in range. Still holding the ADMA on that one, so let's see if that can continue to hold. The Nest, what's going on? Roku, yep. So Roku down a little bit in sympathy there, but holding the geometric line. Pins, hanging in there a little bit, right? So still got these levels right here. Got some open gaps below. Just a little bit tricky right here is the 8. It's now below its 8 EMA, right? So just kind of be careful with that one. We like to see a maybe a higher volume push to the downside to kind of get really short on it, but definitely looking a little bit bearish there. And then VRM, vroom vroom. Okay, so a little bit of downside action here as it's still kind of working on this downtrend under the 8 EMA on that one. LVGO, the forever bullish one too, with the SE and the FSL, FSLY. So a decent move here, and then holding these couple trends right there. But again, still bouncing off the 8 EMA. Seems to be playable there. So and then FSLY, right? Same type of stuff right there. Double inside day. So it hasn't quite bounced off the trend box yet. Pay a lot of attention to see what kind of direction it takes off of this. Okay, and then AYX, a little software type name right here. Again, holding its upward trend line there. A little bit of volume on that one, but still just kind of hanging in there. See if we can get a breakout over this. Otherwise, you get your 80 MA. Start pushing its way down and break down below these prior lows here. Could possibly see the 50-day. Baggish, what's going on? Good to see you. Piton. Let's take a look. So Piton, inside day, try to break its way down, still holding the upper trend line, so I guess just kind of hanging in there, right, on Piton. DKNG, love DKNG off of this bounce off of the upper trend line right here. Just a great move on an active stock, right? Dell, again, keeps on getting these gaps up on the spin-off news, but moved up today, gave a little bit of push, kind of came back in range, so just be careful with that one. If it pushes below those lows, it could aggressively start to go into that gap. Spotify, again, hanging in there. It's still in that sideways channel. And then Lulu, I believe, is still chopping around as well. So let's see if we can get a breakout candle on that one. And then DLTR. So DLTR, again, gap up today here as well. Watch out for that, right? Upper shadows on that one. So it's kind of, maybe it's working on a cut. Maybe it'll kind of come back down, give you a handle, and then start to go. Okay, so let's see how it goes on that one. Good stuff. Appreciate it. Geo, what's going on? Pep, let's take a look. So Pep and Coke had a rough day yesterday. They got a little bit of fall through the downside, not much there. Possibly a pause day, so keep an eye on that. It is holding its cloud on that one. Triple M had a decent day a couple days ago. Pause day. It did hold the 200-day today, but low volume. So just be careful there as well. Disney, decent bounce off the ADMA. So just let's see if we get any fall through the upside of that one. Again, Parks reopening maybe. We got Hong Kong closing on that. JP Morgan upper shadow, guys, watch these banks. It can be really key to see what kind of follow through they get from their earnings. We talked about direction today. We want to see that. LMT hanging in there as well. So guys, this was our trade of the week idea in our newsletter. So this got some great follow through from after Friday's close. Get a great gap up here. So let's see if we continue to hold it, push up to the cloud on that one. Visa hanging in there. So it's really choppy, still in the triangle. So let's look for a breakout on that one way or the other. Amazon. Again, still we looked at earlier, right? Got extended over its original trend line. We took that, right? We drew it up here to see how far we could get. It got just about that far, gave you a big upper shadow, and kind of pulled back a little bit. Now it's under the ADMA, so watch that push down below there. Could see the trend line. Then we want to see how it handles that trend line. So good stuff. Baggish, what's going on? Let's take a look at Shell. Triple inside day. Let's see if that one gives a move out of that one, and then FSLI with a double inside day. Love it. Good. JA Twitter. How about Twitter with the getting hacked and still hanging in there? So, Twitter, it hung in there today. That's some pretty nasty news for Twitter on that one. It shows how compromised they are. They said that, somebody social engineered some of their employees. So, I don't know, guys. We'll see. A push down below these lows could give an accelerated move down to the cloud. Otherwise, I want to see a nice breakout over that triangle area on that one. Good stuff. Istaf, what's going on? WW. Hanging in there. So, a little bit of a hammer bounce off the ADMA here, but really choppy zones on this one. I want to see a breakout candle with some volume. So good stuff. Jay, what you got? So you got WFH. So WFH, let's take a look. All right, so work from home. Yeah, the WFH, work from home. You got to love it. So kind of hanging in there, but definitely want to keep an eye on if the Corona stocks start picking up again. KRE, a little bit of a spinning top there off of the cloud. Pave. Yeah, banks were interesting today, so definitely something to keep an eye on there. Yeah, so infrastructure development. So on this one, yeah, kind of hanging in there, holding on to the 200-day on that one. Double L. Nice follow through from yesterday's hammer. On the lumber liquidator. So that was definitely helped some of the home builder type stuff here today. XLB. Hanging in there with materials. A little spinning top of there. Just be careful. It could be a reversal one. And then nail on the home builder. Yeah, home builders type stuff. Pretty strong today. Low volume, but a nice candle. So good stuff. Yeah, CVS. Again, yeah, it's starting to plow its way up here. I like how it kind of held the cloud bottom, kind of worked its way up. Inside day, just kind of made its way up here. Just got to watch out. You got a lot of upper shadows that's kind of contending with going into there. UAVS. Okay, yeah, nice follow through on this one. A little bit of penny name right here, upper shadow. Just be careful there. So good. ASML. Let's take a look. Okay, a little ADR on this one. So gapping around a lot here, upper shadow. Just kind of see how it holds its geometrical line here. It's right at the 8 EMA. So it could be forming, some type of bull flag, but just let's look for some confirmation one way or another on it. GO, yeah, let's take a look. Snap. Okay, snap, a little bit lower shadow right there, below the 8 EMA. Let's see if that pulls back. It's approaching the upward trend line right here. Okay, so see if that kind of pulls back and tests. It's got earnings coming up pretty soon, so let's see how it holds on that. UGI. Upper shadows at the cloud, just be careful of that one. WRTC. Big candle today. Nice follow through on that one. Wrap Technologies, guys. This has made a huge move since $5. Again, really, really good stuff. Good move on that one today. Definitely want to keep an eye on. Good long-term hold potential on that one. It was at least back there. Just such a cool technology. FedEx. Wow, yeah, finally got a breakout candle on that one. I like it. Good find on that. Yeah, let's put FedEx on the long radar for tomorrow. It was consolidating for a while and gave a nice move here today. Great find. Good. So yeah, what's going on? Google, Microsoft, Nikola. Let's take a look. So Google, always got to be careful with this one, I tell you. Sometimes they'll give an actual move, but this is just a tough one to trade with options these days. A little bit of a hammer over the ADMA, so there's a little bit of a chance there. Microsoft, nasty pullback. It's low volume pullback to the cloud, so see if that can bounce off of that if the market's strong. Nikola, getting really, really tight again, guys. So let's see if it can give a breakout candle one way or the other on that one. So it's right at the cloud right here. So a strong breakout out of there could give it a move up, but a strong breakdown could come back and test this 50-day moving average. So good stuff. Simbeat, what's going on? Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. AMTD. Let's take a look. Earnings coming up here, just kind of hanging out there. Got the ADMA, big upper shadow day. A little bit of caution needed on that one. AZN didn't really get any follow through from its good news the other day, but it does have an inside day, so see if that breaks to the upside. Schwab, who are eventually going to be finishing up the acquisition of AMTD. So Schwab, basically very, very similar to AMTD on that one. In the money options. So let's see. Yeah, I mean, you got earnings coming up. I think it had earnings like today, right? Yeah, so just kind of hung in there. Let's see if we can get some follow to the upside. Let's see what kind of direction we get from those from this earnings move. So good stuff. Yeah, so CSCO, let's take a look. Decent bounce on the ADMA in the cloud. Kind of hanging in there. And then OPK. Getting tight. So I like the triangle right here. Good move up on OPK. Tighten here. Let's see if we can get a move up in there. Let's see if we can get a breakout on that one way or the other. So Sarab, yeah, Microsoft, again, it's right at the upward trend line. So low volume on that. Hopefully that turns into a low volume pullback, gives a bounce on it like it did the other day. So that would be nice. And other than that, great stuff. Jay, what's going on? Yeah, my pleasure. Suresh, what's going on? Baba, let's take a look. So Baba, down a little bit here, under the 80 MA. So yeah, still struggling right here. Below these lows here, could give a move, test this level right here. And then you got an open gap below. And then Neo. Yeah, a little bit of a gap down there, kind of hanging in there, but I like how the ADMA is starting to curl over a little bit. Let's see if that gets any more follow through, guys. Remember this? We had an awesome harmonic on this one here. Great harmonic. The 361.8 extension reversed off of that and kind of working its way down. So let's see how that goes on that. So Neil, what's going on? Apple. Let's take a look again. Beautiful on Apple, still holding trend. Okay, still holding trend on Apple right there. So see how that holds at the ADMA and on the trend line. So that's good. FedEx, beautiful breakout candle on that one. We're definitely going to keep an eye on that tomorrow. AMD. Chop, chop, chop. Inside day, it's holding the 50 EMA and the cloud. It keeps on bouncing off the 50s. So let's see if we can break above today's highs. Microsoft, again, pull back to the upper trend line. So let's see if that holds and gives a bounce. And then DAL. Inside day, just be careful of these airlines, guys. They go either way. It's you got your geo line right here, but it's kind of looking like Boeing too, like kind of the sideways head and shoulder type stuff. So watch for a breakdown below those levels, kind of maybe possibly pull back and test that open gap below. So good stuff, Sunil. And what does Opex mean? So Opex means it just is short for option, OP, option, and X, expiration. So option expiration. So tomorrow's the monthly expiration, right? We've had a massive run up in the market, right? And we're coming up to a, here it is right here. You can see this red line right here. That's option expiration, right? So we're coming into the expiration zone, right? And let's see how that holds, right? So, so what they do sometimes, right? If you got huge out of the money activity, on the options, right? That's a lot of payout if this thing keeps on going up. So what they're going to try to do is suppress the movement of price and give you a choppy day like today to give you all that chop, right? The gamma burn, the theta burn, and just really just kind of keep it low so those premiums go down so they don't have to pay out as much tomorrow on expiration, right? So that's the idea with it. So something to look at. Lots of shenanigans, and we might see some pinning activity tomorrow. Is another term for options as well, where they like to pin price to whatever is the least payout to everything. So in other words, if you have huge option activity on the 320 calls, I mean, I'm not saying they will, but it's possible they pin it at 320, right? Because if you have calls on 320, you're not going to win. If you have puts on 320, you're not there. So house wins at the pin level wherever the highest volume is. So it's definitely something to track, and it's interesting. But of course, price can still do whatever it wants to. The market maker can only do so much, right? See what progression's going on. AAL, yeah, same stuff on these ones like furlough, right? We're seeing a lot of these kind of sideways head and shoulder type look to these, right? So this one's a little bit better off than some of the other ones, but inside there here, it still could move back to this geometric line. Keith, what's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Let's take a look at Zoom. Again, hanging on to its upward trend line right here with the low volume pullbacks. We're going to see if that'll give a bounce tomorrow. Piton, again, same thing. A little bit of volume here, but it's holding its bump line. So let's see if we can get a bounce off of that one. Dry, again, the restaurants, right? So stuck in the cloud right here. Really tight range. Again, huge triangle from the Corona Crash. So let's see if we can give a breakout one way or the other on that one. But right now it's still in the chop zone. And then Jack, super tight. So again, let's look and see if we can get a move on that. A push over yesterday's highs might give a little bit of a move. And then SMPL. Doji Day holding the 200 days. So see how that holds going in tomorrow too. A little bit of kind of blah. But good stuff. Really appreciate it. And then the Nest, Etsy. Let's take a look. Etsy, yeah, decent candle there today, but again, it's holding its upward trend line. Just track it, see if it breaks down below this trend line, gives a move down to the 50-day. Otherwise, it might consolidate here and then ultimately give another bounce to the upside. So good stuff. Okay, yeah, you got some calls on that one. Yeah, at Home Depot, a lot. Yeah, Home Depot is definitely has that morning strength a lot of the times. It just needs to get a good breakout candle, a good move, right? Even this breakout candle right here, right? So it wasn't really a big increase in volume, right? But it got to all times kind of chopping in there at the upper trend line. But some good potential. It might pull back and then give a bounce off of that. So let's see where it goes from there. So good stuff, guys. Well, I really appreciate everybody for tuning in this evening. It's been an awesome week, a great discussion on on talking about earnings season strategies. So I hope you guys really found that helpful. I hope everybody has a wonderful evening tonight. Looking forward to trading day tomorrow. We'll see what kind of shenanigans they have up their sleeves, and then we'll go from there. So really appreciate everybody again for tuning in. We'll see you guys again Sunday night. Where we'll be talking about a new topic for next week, and looking forward to seeing you guys then. Be sure to bring your questions and chart requests. So I hope everybody has a wonderful evening. Thank you again. Stay healthy out there, and remember your risk first and stay safe so you can stay in the game.